Humans of the cardboard! Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Sorry I couldn't get to this early this morning. I opened today, so I didn't have time before I had to leave for work to handle this business, but we need to go over a brand new voiceless voice card, which is very scary, to be honest. It would be, at least, if it wasn't a trap and if I didn't already read the card. But nonetheless, Voiceless Voice may be what? The third best deck in the game? Well, you could argue fourth, right? Pure Snake Eye, Fire King Snake Eye, Branded maybe, and then Voiceless Voice. In terms of representation, those have been pretty much the four hottest decks, or at least they're up there. So very scary when a deck that's already up there at like the top, tiers of competitive play gets even more cards. But let's see how this trap card goes. Just one card for Infinite Forbidden. This card is called Guardian of the Voiceless Voice. It's a continuous trap. You can only use the first and second effects of this card each once per turn, but they cannot activate in the same chain. So that's kind of cool that you can use both in the same turn. But here they go. First effect. If a non-ritual monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Skull Guardian from your hand or deck. Second effect. Well, first. Second effect. You can send this face-up card to the graveyard, then target a ritual you control. It gains attack equal to the total original attack of all other face-up monsters currently on the field until the end of this turn. Funny enough, that battle trick is the best part about this card. To me, the most value this card has seems to be like going first. You kind of interrupt your opponent pretty well, and then on turn 3, this card's able to just like make your main ritual, the new Skull Guardian guy, basically go from 4,100, which is normally what he sits at, to like crazy amounts of attack, right? Because he gains the attack of all monsters on the field. So that's pretty cool, and you can just punch for game. If your opponent doesn't break through, or if they just leave a weenie-ish monster, possibly even just any monster in attack position, you may be able to just kill them outright. So that to me is the best part about this card. That first effect's pretty terrible because it's not a Skull Guardian monster or card. It's Skull Guardian specifically, which is the vanilla ritual that the whole archetype is based on, although until this point they haven't really given you much reason to have to play that card, and so to make this card feel worth it, you may just have to play Skull Guardian, which you do not want to do. I don't want to play a subpar card like this trap card, which then justifies me to have to play a really bad brick. It's a pretty bad brick. It's not like the worst brick in the world. At least it's a level 7 monster, so it can just be tribute fodder when you ritual summon in the deck, but that's not that doesn't justify it, basically. So for me, this card's a whiff, and honestly, good. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I get really nervous when a deck that's already, you could argue this deck's tier 1 or like A tier if the Snake Eye decks are like S tier, right? You could argue this deck is like totally top tier. It's just not S tier like the most broken decks in the game. And those are the kind of decks where I'm like, you know what, those decks are pretty good. They don't even make them much better. So just a mid trap card like this is just what the doctor ordered. I would have liked it maybe if it was like a little bit more playable, just in the sense of like it's another option, but it's not an absolute awesome staple kind of thing. But this card's utility is pretty specific. I don't know. I mean, listen, if you play the deck more than I do, if you're actually like a consistent player of Voiceless Voice, please let me know in the comment section down below if this card actually has value in the deck, but I don't see it personally at this point in time. So let me know your thoughts on that. That's just one card. I think we still have, 44 cards in like the next 30 days, something like that, which is still a good bit. I do expect something maybe in the next 3 days, and then I would think next week might be a heavier week of Infinite Forbidden reveals, but we'll just have to see what comes when it comes, and hopefully there's some cool stuff in there. But I will bring you any news as it drops, so subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date on all things Yu-Gi-Oh! News, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.